The last time people in Detroit seen y'all play, y'all was wearing these. Y'all won these. So that's what I'm trying to do tomorrow. I'm trying to set the tone to let everybody know what we about to do again this season. Can we do it again? Can we do it again? Can we do it again?
You want to know how the benefit game sets the tone for the season? It's really the first, you know what I'm saying? Technically, it's the first game of the season, so it kind of gives you a chance to display all of your talent and go against competition that you'll be going against in the season.
In my opinion, the benefit game is the first real game that actually matters before the regular season.
The benefit game has always been like, you know, the biggest event for your organization that year, you know, like besides like an actual, like the, you know, the real season or the homecoming. Like the benefit game is, you know, it sets the tone for everything. It set the tone for the organization, the cheerleaders, and of course your team and the players.
It set the tone as all the talking, put it on the field, you hear? And it show on the field. So yeah, that's how I'm gonna say it like that. We do our talking on the field.
The benefit game definitely gives a good look before the season because number one, our kids, they've been hitting other kids, or well, they've been hitting themselves for the past 5 weeks leading up to the benefit game. So the benefit game gives us an opportunity to see how our team is going to measure mentally and physically versus another team. One of our rivals, for real. So the benefit game is very crucial for us. It's low key like a preseason game for us in the NFL. It's a preseason game for us.
Let a lot of people know what type of team we is. Let them know we mean business.
Cover that ball up, huh?
Game time Saturday.
And when you running this way, what hand?
It's the official thing on Saturday.
No, it's on the floor. It's on the mother floor. They already No, I told y'all, man, put my when you can cuss it. I already been told y'all that shit a while back. Ducks, man, they better duck they motherfucking taco. We eat duck soup all weekend. This shit on the floor.
The Ducks versus the Titans rivalry, dog. Like
That game, it mean a lot. I mean, it's kind of like the Beast of the East game back in the day. Like the Hurricanes versus the Knights. I don't know if y'all familiar, but mean a lot.
it's always been like that Beast in the East, like neighborhood type rivalry. You know what I'm saying? Like it's always been that. Like even since we was kids, like when we was kids, I don't really remember arguing with no West Side kids. I don't remember arguing with nobody from the Raiders. Them was all my friends. When I'm getting into heated arguments as a kid, I remember arguing with those Giants, bro.
With me, I think going back to when they was the Giants, our rivalry was Cubs. But now I think because after all the years, them changing their names to the Oldtown Ducks and stuff now, I mean, it's gonna make us bring our A game every time.
Growing up, that team used to be the Giants. And just to be honest, literally pretty much every team that was in power is going to be a rivalry for me. Like the Cubs, they're going to be a rivalry game. The Ducks, old Giants, rivalry game. The Raiders, happy to see them. That's going to be a rivalry game. Like all those games like that, they end up being rivalry games because those are the teams I lost to as a kid. So as a grown up, I'm kind of taking on personal now with my kids. So
It's even big to the kids. That's why it really mean a lot. They know it's that serious. We got it's always the talk of who got the best players, but you know, this year we got the best players, you know, so the rivalry is really big to us and the kids. We take that a little bit more serious.
You know, I came in that game last year very overconfident, very like cocky in a way that like no one couldn't touch our team. And that was the first time in a minute I actually got humble, bro. So, you know, from now until when we play them now, it's all love far as like, you know, we all cool, but when we're in that field with the Ducks, I don't like them boys. I don't like them.
Put them pass on, just get quiet. No, we gonna meet them at the 50 this year. Last season, it hurt. I ain't gonna lie.
When I was on the Ducks, after we won that game, I still knew we had a lot of work to do, even though we won kind of big. But it was still like we didn't score that second half. We only scored the whole first half. In the second half, I think we only scored one time. So it was just like we both needed that work, and we all had a lot of work to do, and we were still working.
In the benefit game, you had so many people saying so many different things, like, and the end result ended up being a championship. So the benefit game last year basically affected us, to me, in a good way, even though we lost, because it was literally the first game, the first line of competition that we ever experienced, and it kind of like let us know where we were at without doing any type of competition.
It made me get a little more serious. Make me all the games and little kiddie games with the kids was over with. I had to step up just like they had to step up. So, you know.
At that time, we all thought that we was just about to go in there. You know, we had been practicing against ourselves for the longest. Like, we had 13, 14 kids not running 11 on 11. Didn't do no scrimmages. Didn't pull up on nobody, do no scrimmages. We really, like, hadn't competed against nobody but the air, you know what I'm saying, all summer. And we went into there and thinking that we was going to play them boys and crush them, and ended up being the other way around. So in a lot of ways, it really humbled me as a coach. It was probably like the most humble moment that I've had thus far since I've been coaching, because it really showed you like when you set a standard so high that the work ethic has to be, you know, on the same level as the standard that you set, or the bar that you set when it's that high. Like, and I can say as a coach, like, it wasn't that. Like, I wasn't coming to practice and putting in the type of efforts that I was putting in before that game that I was, like, after that game. And I think I can speak for the rest of the coaches when I say that. Like, the attitude and the vibe of our practices and everything that we was doing, everything that we decided to work on, even with our parents, everything changed after that game. So
I knew I wasn't ready. I knew I had to get back in the lab. Point blank, period. You know, I deep down I knew that I could have did a better job coaching my O-line, D lineman. And like I said, I let my cockiness get in the way of me coaching leading up to that week. You know, I was confident, but I was too overconfident. And like I said, we got what we deserved. We went in there, we couldn't tackle, bro. We wasn't breaking down. We wasn't blocking, bro. So that game, like I said, I call that game the humble game.
It was very beneficial to let us know, like, oh, we thought we had like these superhero tackling kids, and oh, they can't tackle. Oh, we think that we got this high-powered offense, and oh man, this kid doesn't know how to do a hook block, or this kid not running through this hole, or not holding the ball the right way with this. You know what I'm saying? My center got to learn a new way to snap the ball in the benefit game. We found out right there on the spot, and he had to switch it, and then we ended up finding out that wasn't even, you know what I'm saying, a rule. So it was like a lot of things that were from the benefit game that, like, definitely set the tone for the season. And I honestly feel like that was why we were on top, because we started from such a ground zero like level because of that benefit game, that we had to, like, exceed in everything. Like, we watched every mistake that we made and we exceeded it.
did beating the Ducks in the semifinal game ease the pain of the benefit game? So I would say, like, yeah and no, right? Because
I came in the year the same chip because, for one reason, last year, we had a good player and he not here no more this year. So it really made me start over, like, it's that serious. So
The funny thing about it was they beat us in the regular season too, right after that. So, like, we lost to that same team twice within a 6-week span.
It kind of was like a stepping stone for me because, like I said in the previous question, that was our first game that we ever played. Like that was our first competition, anything. So I was quacked out, bro. I was quacked out from the Dutch. Like, I mean, I know if we look at a team where when we first start doing something, never done it before, and then we lose 21-0, but then you look at a team where like they're almost reaching their peak and we play that same team and you look at what happens. You know what I'm saying? Like, I kind of expected it to go the way that it went in the semifinals. I actually was one of the coaches that was saying, like, wait until that time. When this time becomes this time, that's when we're going to have the full team that we expect to have. We took a tough loss to the Falcons week 2. Then we come out week 3. We come out week 3 trying to redeem ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Against the only other undefeated team in the league besides the Falcons, right? So, you know, we understand at this point, week 3, that we are like the better team. Like we know now. We really know. But I would say once again, I was humbled as a coach, right? Because that game, that was the only game, I think out of any game that I've ever coached in with these guys, that was the only game where we didn't really coach that well. Like the kids played very, very, very good. They played very well that game, very exceptional that game. But I feel like that game was lost off, you know, questionable coaching. You know, I made some questionable calls on defense. We had some questionable calls on offense. Like it was very, you know, it was very uncharacteristic of us as coaches to you know coach the game the way we coached that in particular game. So, you know, that mixed with the benefit game boiled up to, you know, us just, you know, being the underdogs, the league underdog, us knowing that we really the GOATs though. That you know, a mixture of all of those things that made Earl running that last touchdown run in the wide to Florida. That made that feel even much better. Like, so I would say the semifinal game probably eased the pain of us just like, you know, it got that monkey off our back. Like, we not the underdogs no more. Like, we got the opportunity to go be the champs and take over. And that's exactly what we did. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly what we did. Kings of the East. We run the East now.
Game winning touchdown, like my boy Earl said, a wide to Florida. Stop playing with us out here, bro. Big Titans out here. Big Titans.
They came back, man. What we leaving with?
A wide to Florida.
Yeah! I like that. Get it.
The preparation and the attitude for this year's benefit game, all energy starts with the kids. All energy, all preparation starts with the kids. So if they're ready to be prepared, then we're gonna prepare. If they're ready to focus, then we're gonna focus. Like
that was the date that we had circled since April, and we wanted to show up and show out. So, you know, of course, we always working to get better when we come out here. But I think for the practices leading up to the benefit game, I want to say that week or two out, it was intense.
We knew we couldn't let that happen 2 years in a row. It wasn't no way. So when we lost that regional game in November last year, we started training. I think that following month in the summer, we started training.
Hard work, dedication, 2 days. Every kid coming to practice. Shoot, going to the first practice, then going to the second practice, working out 2 times a day. Had to wake up and do it all over again. Coaches spending their time, they overtime, watching film, just doing extra work just to get better. Doing extra scrimmages just to get us right so we can get game ready.
Going into this game, it didn't start like the week of the game. Like the week of the game, we were super focused. Like as a team, like new guys, old guys, however you want to name it. Like we were super focused. Coaches, we always focus. So, you know, but that focus started back after we lost the regional championship to the Hilltop Hawks, like, we went right into the lab. Like, we probably took a few weeks off, like 3-4 weeks off, like no more than a month, right? And, you know, the kids, after that, the kids are doing speed training. We doing full practices on Saturdays at Hellman. The linemen are doing lineman work with Coach Breeze. You know, Sire never stopped working. He didn't even take a break. Him and KS, they in the lab every day, the day after the game. We doing all type of stuff. Like, we got all type of training and classes and everything for the kids throughout the winter. So we set the tone, and we started this with this chip on our shoulder in the off season.
Practice this year, going to the game, we knew we had the crackhead, so we was on top of everything. Little more harder practices last year, just going into the game. This year, we had a little more time on the off season, so it's a little light on us. So we had that much to think about or go over at less time. So, you know, this year practices we was up to date. We was ready this year.
We already in that zone as coaches. Like, we already provide that type of mentality as coaches. But I know when I show up to practice on Monday and I got kids circling up theyself and I got my leaders, you know what I'm saying, getting the 3 lines together, and I got people talking loud and stuff like that, and my son walking around and he looking focused. I know what time it is that week. I know what time it is. Like, I know what time it was last year in that semifinal game because of the way we practiced. I know what time it was. You know, people want to say, like, oh, we cheating. Oh, your kids too old. Oh, they don't look 8 and stuff like that. But the real thing is, the real reason why our kids are so good, it's not because they cheating or because they too old. It's because of the time. It's the time that they putting in, man. Give these kids some credit for putting in all of this time, the effort, the money that they parents spending, the times that they coaches putting in. Like, when the cameras go off, that's when we working the most. That's when we working the most. Y'all see the wins, y'all see the glitz and gamblers, the belt gang and all of that. But y'all don't see us when we in that lab. So I would like to say, like, that's how I describe our preparation when going into anything.
Preparation was real for us, man. We was in the lab, we watching film, we was breaking film down, we was teaching. We was teaching more than we was talking. We lived at the HQ. We lived at Hellman. We lived at those places more than we was at the crib, bro. So preparation is everything. If you're not prepared, bro, you're not ready. And we was ready. We was ready. And it showed.
Make their mama say, "Ooh, baby!" They laid a foul on that team's first and the team's first. Morris at the line to shoot one. They laid a foul on that team's first and the team's first. Morris at the line to shoot one. Foul on that team's first and the team's first.